Phone Booth Productions.
Here's the thing.
Well, I get up around 7, get out of bed around 9. I don't worry about nothing, no, because worry's a waste of my time. Show usually starts around 7. We go on stage around 9. Get on the bus about 11. Sipping a drink and feeling fine. Hello.
All right. Welcome to the Here's the Thing podcast. I'm your boy, Snoop Von Poop. My guest today, man, I've been waiting to talk to this guy and been wanting to talk to him for quite a while. He is the hair metal guru, real name Anthony, I just found out. And I'm super excited to talk to you today, man. I just really appreciate, your love and passion for the same music that I've grown up on. And so it's excited to share that with someone,
Awesome. Hey, thank you for having me on. I know we've been chatting on X or Twitter. Follow me at Hair Metal Guru for a while. So finally we got this set up. So it's an honor to be here.
Yeah. When we release the episode, I'll make sure I get all your ads up on the screen and everything, and I'll plug your YouTube page up on there too. Because man, you got a great podcast, dude.
Yeah. It's I started it 2 years ago. I had been teaching high school English, and over the summer of 2023, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try this thing out, and in 2 years, I mean, it's gone farther than I ever thought it would go. So thank you, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, as someone that's just kind of starting out, that gives me a little bit of inspiration, if you will. It's exciting to hear and see. Like, I know you just posted your YouTube numbers have been growing so fast.
Yeah.
And that's so cool, man. And I'm kind of lucky, I fell into this kind of I'm a part of this Phone Booth podcast as well. I
Okay.
do the live episodes with them on Mondays and Saturdays, and
Yeah.
it's more of conspiracy type podcast. And Ted has a pretty big following, 100,000 followers, and
Sure.
yeah, so he kind of opened the door for me and started producing this for me and gave me access to the studio and lets me do my own thing. And I just can't believe how fast it's coming together. I mean, this will be, I think, episode 10, I believe.
Okay.
And I just can't believe some of the guests. Like I had Paul Shortino on a few
I know.
weeks ago. And Kerry Kelly's supposed to be coming on soon, and he was already supposed to be on, but his scheduling has been kind of rough.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool, man. Speaking of guests, I can't believe Pete Ravine showed up on your podcast the other day. And
Yeah.
dude, I have been trying to get a hold of him for a couple years now, and he emailed me the other day, so I have got in touch with him.
Okay.
And it's so cool because I didn't know where he had gone. I was asking people in Vegas, have you seen him? Have you, anybody know anything? And nobody heard from him. And then boom, all of a sudden on YouTube, I see Pete Ravine on the Hair Metal Guru show.
Well, he doesn't do social media. He doesn't do, maybe I shouldn't be saying, but he doesn't do like email. I have been communicating to him through another guy. And the reason I got to email or to interview him is because I've been doing like some promotional stuff for FNA Records. Like I'll email or I'll interview their artists. Maybe I'll promote their stuff. Well, they just put out the Lost Treasures album from Salty Dog. And so Doc from FNA Records, by the way, go to fnarecords.net if you're interested in Salty Dog. He's like, hey man, I'd love to have you interview Pete to promote this release. And I was like, shit, yeah. So every time I do an interview, I always go research and I go find other interviews because I want to, maybe there's something I don't know I can learn so I can do the interview. And there is nothing from Pete Ravine on YouTube. So yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, trust me, I know. Like I said, I've been looking for him. And I couldn't find anything. And I miss him so much, man. I used to see him in Vegas all the time when I lived there. And there was this little bar called the Tailspin, and they would have open jam nights, and he would go up there And I mean, this dude just shreds, man.
Sure.
And that's a great album, that Lost Treasures too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for ballads. I think I've heard you say that before
Yeah.
too. What is that one on there called? When something,
Treasures.
when love finds a fool or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's the Dawkins song. I forget the name
I'm
of
like,
it right
I'm
now.
trying to, I don't have the fucking track listing, and I haven't listened to it a ton in the last couple days. So, yeah.
You know what? I wanted to ask you about your intro song. Who does your catchy ass intro song?
You know what? A fan of the channel messaged me. Is like, dude, I had AI create a song about the hair metal guru, and I was like, no shit. And so it's actually there's a full 3 minute and whatever song, and I clipped what I thought were the coolest 10 seconds of it for the intro. So it's AI. It completely sounds like a real hair metal band. But you know, not that I'm a big AI guy, like I prefer to do the real shit. But hey,
Sure.
if you don't have access to a real hair metal band, an AI can create something. So yeah, it's AI, but it's amazing how many people talk about it. You know how catchy it is. It's really cool.
Yeah, I woke up this morning singing, "Don't forget Charlie too."
Charlie's sitting over here on the couch. Yeah, she's got big boobies. She has 8 of them. So.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
she is.
All right.
She is a girl, and it's a crazy story how I got her. I was teaching. I taught high school English for 12 years, and I had to put my old dog down. And I had some students, and I was telling this class, I'm like, yeah, I had to put my dog down. She was getting old and sick, and blah blah blah. So there's 2 girls in this class. They're twin sisters, and they went home and talked to their mom. Their mom is a dog breeder. And so they're like, Mom, Mr. Bryant had to put his dog down. And so all of a sudden, their mom messages me on Facebook. She's like, Mr. Bryant, we would like to give you a dog. And Charlie, a purebred golden retriever, they were just about done breeding her, and they just gave her to me. It's just the most amazing thing. It was just a fantastic family. So now I have Charlie, and she's sitting over here on the couch, but she's a purebred golden retriever. She's, I think, 8 now, and she's just amazing. So.
Yeah, we just rescued a boxer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 years old, and got a cleft palate, just the cutest thing, you know. And,
Where are you at?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
In Arizona.
I see.
Speaking of catchy songs, I want your opinion on my intro song here. I'm gonna pull it up for you since you didn't get to see it. Maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't. Check this out though.
Phone Booth Productions.
Here's the thing.
Well, I get up around 7, get out of bed around 9. I don't worry about nothing, no, because worry's a waste of my time. Show usually starts around 7, we go on stage around 9, get on the bus about 11, sipping a drink and feeling fine. Hello.
Where the hell did you come up with that?
Well, do you recognize the song?
Yeah, it's Guns N' Roses, Mr. Brownstone.
There you go. AI. Another AI.
Sure.
It's funny. The guest I had on this week, Brett Perosi, he was in the band Bile. I don't know if you've heard of them. They were more of a industrial band in the 90s.
Okay.
And he's played with like Green Jello, and I met him through Skid Row. He was Snake's guitar tech.
Okay.
And now he's out with Tesla.
Okay, cool.
But I had him on, and we were talking about how he is just not inspired to even make any new music because of what you can do with AI.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, and you know, he brings up a valid point that, you know, bands, you know, like that he works for, and bands like you talk about on your show, they have a career because they can go out and tour and make money, you know, in the business. But as a new band coming out, I mean, there's no places to play. People don't want to pay you. I mean, and everybody wants, you know, a cover band in there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really, it's kind of sad.
Yeah. And I plan on doing a video dedicated to what AI is going to do to the music scene. You're never going to see it come back like it used to be. And you're right, places to play. I mean, I envision a future where people very rarely go out to clubs.
Mhm.
You know, like you have all your entertainment needs are like right fucking here or right on your computer. So it's not that I want that to happen, but you're right. And I assume for young people, and I taught for a long time, it gets, well, why the hell would I sit and write a song when I could just have AI do it in 2 minutes or whatever it takes AI to come up with a song? So yeah, it's daunting. It worries me. I do still, I love discovering new bands.
Mhm.
I love it when people are like, "Hey, have you heard this? Here's something that you may not have heard." I've just been listening to this band Notorious. Somebody was like, "You got to listen to this Notorious song, Shout Out for Love." And then I went down a Notorious rabbit hole. So Notorious, Shout Out for Love, start with that song. They have an album called Marching On. It is fucking amazing. But, how much longer are people going to feel the need to create bands? Now, here's on the flip side. I'm 52. My son is 18. I feel like there are a lot of parents who have spent a lot of years having their kids listen to the music that
Mhm.
we listen to, that we grew up listening to. So I feel like you're still going to have this group of kids that are going, "Hey, you know what? I grew up listening to this hard rock. I want to create that too." So that's what gives me hope for the future. But I still, yes, the AI thing really worries me. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
So, where are you discovering new music?
On on X,
On X.
on Twitter at Hair Metal Guru, I mean, people will constantly share, you know, because there's a group, you're part of this group. There's all these guys that share music and shit, and people will message me and go, "Have you heard this?" I host Hair Metal Mansion on Rock 101 KLOL out of Houston every Saturday. That just came up because I got that opportunity just because of my YouTube channel. But some people know, and like now I'm starting. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm bragging, but now like I'm starting to have artists reach out to me and go, "Hey, we're a new band. Would you check out our stuff and maybe talk about it?" So that's another thing that happens.
That's awesome, man. I've been wanting to tune into your radio show. I'm just we do our live streams on Saturday night, so I'm like never able to.
They always, and not everybody knows this, they always replay it Sunday nights at
Oh,
8.
okay. I'm gonna write
So,
that down.
yeah. So, anyway,
Um,
no, I completely get it. Saturday night, asking people to take 2 hours of their Saturday night to listen to a radio show is not always an easy ask. So I appreciate everyone who does. If you hear this and you're like, "Fuck, I can't listen to a radio show Saturday night," Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time on Rock 101 KLOL, and it's on like Get Me Radio. So there's an app, or I
sure.
always share it on my social media. So there's many different ways to listen.
What? Let me ask your opinion. Speaking of newer bands, what do you think of the Cruel Intentions?
I love the Cruel Intentions, and one of the guys in the Cruel Intentions was in the band Veins of Jenna.
Yeah, yeah. Veins of Jenna.
And
This band I managed in Vegas opened up for Veins of Jenna. Probably 2008. I want to say.
okay, okay, badass. Veins of Jenna, who was managed by Stevie Rochelle from Tough. So my favorite, God, and the song that got me into the Cruel Intentions, Sunrise Over Sunset. Holy fuck,
Fantastic. Yeah.
that song is so damn catchy. So uh yeah, so that's one of the great newer bands that I'm into.
I actually bought the album, and I don't buy many.
Yeah,
you know.
I
Uh,
actually do. This is my here's my like that's what I bought over the last couple months, CDs. And by the way, here's Charlie who wants to say hi.
what's up, Charlie? Glad you could make it today.
Yeah, she's like, she has an OnlyFans. It's only $9.99 a month, and for the price of 2 boobies, you get 8 boobies.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's a score.
yeah, she's very proud.
So you said you're a teacher. I think I read you were also in the army.
Yeah, I was National Guard. I did a few years active for the National Guard, but I was in for 22 years, and I was deployed to Iraq in '03. I was there for a year. Did a year in Kosovo in 2009, and I retired as a captain in 2015. And it was joining was one of the smartest things I ever did because before I went to Iraq, I was 31 when we went to Iraq, and my life had kind of fallen apart. I went to college, dropped out. I was a big partier. I did a number of years where I was a bartender and all I did was drink and shit. Not that you want me to go into all the sordid details, but anyway, when I went to Iraq in '03, and I was like, you're over there and all this shit's happening. And and I was like, man, you know what? If I die over here, I thought I was going to be a teacher. I was going to do all this great shit. Long story short, I got home from Iraq in the summer of '04, went to treatment and quit drinking. My sobriety date is July 4th, 2004. That's my Independence Day, if you will. And that's kind of how I got my life back on track.
Well, that's amazing. And thank you so much for your service too.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Today's is 9/11, a day of remembrance,
Yep.
Without getting too political, it doesn't really matter where you stand, but I mean, what do you think about what's going on right now? Yesterday was a pretty crazy day. And then we also had, the bus incident, prior to that.
Yep. It's horrifying. I try not to get like on my channel. I try not to get. I've gone a little political when Sebastian, like right after the election, Sebastian Bach was like, "I hate this country. I don't want to live here anymore." I did a video about that. I'm very patriotic. I understand that America is not a perfect country, but a wise man once said, I judge the greatness of a country by how many people are trying to get in versus how many people are trying to get out. I never noticed that there's a whole lot of people who are trying to leave America. I was all over the world in the military. Everywhere I went, there were people who were like, I just want to live in America. So America has its faults, but I am very patriotic, and I feel like, I hate to say this, maybe I don't hate to say it, I'm kind of one of those people that says, if you don't like it, you should leave it. And I hate the divide in our country, the political divide. Part of what makes America great is you have the right to believe what you want. You can say what you want, but it's getting, and I know that both sides are guilty. So I'm not saying that one side is any less guilty of the other, but damn it, we should just be able to debate and discuss things without having to worry about shit like that happening.
Yeah, I mean, it yesterday, obviously looked like a professional hit of some kind, and that's not a left or right issue.
Yeah.
That's like they're against all of us. Whoever's doing these evil, atrocious things. It's not. It's But and it sucks when people like Sebastian and I wore the LA Guns hat today, but Tracy Guns, he's another one.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I was friends with Tracy, and then he blocked me on X.
Yeah.
He didn't know it was me. He knew me as Snoop Von Poop. This was before I even had the podcast, before I started showing my face. I was just the poop emoji,
Yeah.
And he followed me, and then I didn't even say anything. I was in his comments. Somebody had said something, and I just kind of maybe defended Trump or slightly, but it wasn't, anything crazy because I just like the music.
Yeah.
And then he got all hissy and I can't be friends with anybody, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever, man. And Sebastian blocked me too. I have no idea why.
Oh, Sebastian blocked. Yeah, Tracy blocked me. Sebastian blocked me. It's probably becoming fairly apparent, for those of you watching right now, that I'm probably on the right. I'm more conservative than liberal. So yeah. There's a lot of people who will not even consider people from the other side. I try not to be that way. I try to be like, hey, if you're a good person, you can have different political beliefs, but there are some people that will not even think of associating with people on the other side, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad. But let's get back to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something with you today because I know you're all about making lists and doing stuff. So, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, so take your time if you have to, but I don't think you're going to have to. give me your top 5 bands that are, I guess, what I would like to hear is underexposed bands. I hate the term underrated because they're phenomenal musicians, but they're underexposed because they didn't get the time of day from the record labels and whatnot. So go ahead, give me your top 5. We'll go through them one by one. Let's start with one.
Sure. One would be Sleaze Bees. They put out an album in 1990 called Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed. It is so fucking epic. They put out a follow-up in 1992 called Power Tool that is very good. Maybe not quite as good as Screwed, Blued. And they actually put out an album, I think, in 87 or 88 called Look Like Hell that was only overseas. They got a new singer, Andrew Elt. So Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed to me is one of the most underrated albums of that entire scene. Holy shit. They did have a couple singles. They had a minor hit with a song called Stranger Than Paradise that people know. But anyway, amazing album. That's one. McQueen Street put out a self-titled album in 1991. Holy shit. Their singer, Derek Welsh, I interviewed him not too long ago. One of the greatest voices of that time. I've always said that Skid Row should consider him because I know he's kind of looking for a gig now. Check out the songs Money. My Religion is fucking amazing. They have a couple great ballads. Time, Only the Wind. Oh, that album is phenomenal. There's 2. DAD, who are from Denmark, I think. Check out their 1989 album, No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims. A minor hit with a song called Sleeping My Day Away. That album is all killer, no filler. That's 3. The Electric Angels put out a self-titled album in 1990. Is unbelievable. Rattlesnake Kisses had, what's her name from the Al Bundy show? What's that show called?
Married with Children.
Married with Children. Christina Applegate was in their video for Rattlesnake Kisses. This album is so unbelievably good. There's a ballad called True Love and Other Fairy Tales. Check out the song Head Above Water. The whole thing is amazing. What is that, 3 or 4? What I say? DAD, Sleaze Bees, McQueen Street, Electric Angels. And then I've always pumped the band Lily and Axe.
Oh, yeah.
They are kind of a band that people know of, but they never had a massive hit. Their debut album in 1988, self-titled, amazing. Poetic Justice from 1992, unbelievable. Love and War from 1989, one of the greatest albums of the genre. And then they put out a little-known album called Psycho-Schizophrenia in 1993. Amazing. So there's 5 bands, and I could list you a dozen more.
I bet you can.
One of my favorite things to cover on the channel is just those underrated bands that not many people know about.
All right, so I'll give you my 5, and maybe you can say some words about them since you
Sure.
you know a lot more than I do about these bands. But my number 1, and this is one of my favorite bands, Spread Eagle.
Oh yeah, they put out they were kind of talked about like, oh, maybe they'll be the next Skid Row. Scratch Like a Cat was kind of a minor hit. What was the other one that was kind of a minor hit?
I like Dead of Winter was pretty good.
Dead of Winter is a great song.
The ballad, was it Through These Eyes?
Okay, is that what it was called? Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Great album.
The first album, Switchblade Serenade was
Switchblade Serenade. That's right. That's right.
Oh, great album. Their second album,
Yeah.
And I think did they only have the 2?
I think they came out and did something years later.
Oh, you know what? They did. And I actually have a copy of it.
Yeah.
They did something probably 20 years ago or so.
Yeah, they did come out. And I think Rob DeLuca, I think, is in that band. And he added me on Facebook. It's not like we've chatted, but they're still playing shows.
Yeah.
Which, hallelujah. I salute any band that's still out there doing it. So they've never come around my neck of the woods, but yeah, their debut especially is really solid.
Okay. How about South Gang?
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Tainted Angel, man.
Tainted Angel, and then Group Therapy. And fuck, my dog is shedding so bad, so I constantly get thirsty because I feel like I'm just inhaling hair all the time.
Yeah, that South Gang, that first album, man, just is so killer. Tight band. What's the guy's name from South Gang? He
Butch
went on to
Walker.
Butch Walker. Yeah, he
Butch
went on to fight
Walker
the
is
Marvelous. Was it Marvelous 3? Is that the name?
Marvelous 3, and the Marvelous 3 is fantastic. Butch Walker is probably more known in many circles because he went on to be a producer for
Yeah.
bands like, he did some of the pop punk bands. He did Avril Lavigne. Well, I'd like to do Avril Lavigne myself too. So he's produced many bands. So I think that's what most people know him for. I think South Gang is kind of down on the list for what he's famous for.
Yeah.
But Tainted Angel is phenomenal. Go ahead.
You know who else went on to have a killer producing career was Linda Perry from the Four Non Blondes.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
She did a lot of pop punk stuff too.
I'm hoping I can track her down and get her on the show one day because I have some cool stories with her back in the '90s, and she's a sweetheart.
Oh, very, very cool. Very cool. I know she went on and did a lot of stuff with Pink.
Christina Aguilera.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of them.
I would never brag about doing anything with those bands, but
my number 3 is Wild Side.
Oh fuck! When I went through my 5, that's the one I missed. Wild Side, Under the Influence. In fact, I'm going to do an unboxing.
Ooh, there you go.
Of this.
Nice.
This is the second. It got put out. This is from Experience Vinyl, but they also put one out on another label. I'm going to do an unboxing. That Under the Influence is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's amazing. Drew Hanna's voice is fucking just a revelation. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic album. Lad in Sin. Love that tune.
2 great ballads. Just Another Night. Kiss This Love Goodbye. The first single was a song called fuck. The hell was it called? I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Hang On Lucy.
Hang On Lucy, yeah.
I felt like Wild Side. If you combined Guns N' Roses and Skid Row, I felt like you got Wild Side.
So my next one, number 4 here, this is kind of a different one. Tell me how you feel about it. I don't know. They don't really fall under the hair genre, but Warrior Soul. I really like the one album, Last Decade, Dead Century.
Okay.
There's a couple good tunes on there, Losers, and what's the other song that Charlie's Out of Prison's pretty good. But that album really just it was a staple of my teenage years, you know.
I know of that band. I know Corey Clark, the singer, has done some other projects. I wouldn't say that I'm like, I know I've listened to some of them, but I would not be the one to talk to about like all the Warrior Soul shit. Though I know like they have a really good reputation for being kind of, not hair metal, but like just a gritty, almost punk influenced hard rock.
Yeah. And so my 5th one was kind of tough choosing one, you know, but I went with Hurricane Alice.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, right? That's one you don't hear hardly ever.
They're from Minneapolis, which I'm in Fargo, and Minneapolis is like the next closest big city. Minneapolis had more of like a punk alternative scene, though Hurricane Alice, the band, what are they called again? Shit, Chainsaw King was the singer of it. Anyway, now I can't remember. But they had a single with, what was it? Was it Tear the House? Is the album called Tear the House Down?
I believe it is. Let me see.
And the single was called Wild, Young, and Crazy. And it's a really good song, but they just never really got they never got much of a push, you know, from their record label. You didn't see a lot about them in the magazines. But yeah.
Let me see. I got their album right here. It is Tear the House Down. Yep. Yeah. And Bad Boy Breakout was a banger.
Yeah.
Dream Girl was pretty good.
Yeah.
Too Late was another good one.
Here,
Wild, Young, and Crazy.
I'll tell you, this is kind of political. Not really, but I was gonna. The singer Bruce of Hurricane Alice, he'll pop up in my like recommendations for friends on Facebook. And if you don't want me to talk about this shit, feel free
No,
to delete it.
no, go
But
ahead.
so I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm gonna message him and see if he wants to do an interview. But then I went to his page and it was like full of like ultra leftist shit. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, I'm not gonna interview him. So
I talked to Chaz Stumbo, who played drums for the band Earshot in the early 2000s, and he also has a podcast called the Earshot Podcast,
okay,
and or I'm sorry, Ear Mob Podcast,
okay.
and because he also played with Lynch Mob, so it's
Oh, sure.
Earshot and Lynch Mob, and
Sure.
he had booked a guest, and like right before the guest was supposed to come on, he says, "You know what? I can't do this with you because you support Trump." It's like I don't understand how people can be so. I mean, we never had this before, you know.
Yeah.
Like even if you disagreed with any previous president, you know, we never had the divide that we have, you know.
Back in the day, I don't remember me and my friends ever talking about who the fuck you voted for.
Right.
It was just never a thing. But I think social media has really amplified it. The ability to hide behind your computer and to tell somebody else they're a Nazi or whatever. You don't have to say it to their face. It's just amped up all of the horribleness that comes out of how divided we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your favorite band from this genre?
Probably the band that I've covered the most would be Warrant.
Okay. Love the Dog Eat Dog album.
That's an amazing album. The Ultraphobic album, which is kind of grunge influence in '95. Actually, when I first got it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Has aged amazingly well. But I in the mid '90s, they played around Fargo and Minneapolis a ton, and I saw them so many times. And I have a song, I Saw Red, is tattooed on my arm. Actually, I have 2 Warrant songs. Stronger Now is a song off Ultraphobic. So those 2 tattoos like got me, like I got pulled on stage once. I got to drink with them on the tour bus a few times, shit like that. So anyway, it just kind of became where they felt like my band because you got to like do stuff with them, and I'm sure they would never remember that, but it was a big deal to me. And then I was an alcoholic, and Janie Lane died at 47. Alcoholism brought it down, and just I always like when my life was going to shit was when his life was going to shit. And so I always related to that. Like we kind of shared that. And for whatever reason, I went to Iraq and found a way to get sober, and he never did. And so, but I just always related to that and kind of felt like something like a closeness to him, even though it's not like we hung out and we're calling each other, but it just like I related to him for some reason.
Yeah. I met Janie a few times over the years and hung out with him a few times. And, it's sad, what he was going through. And you can understand his pain, he's like, I'm the fucking cherry pie guy now, and he never wanted to be that.
Yeah. And yeah, but like I get that for some reason he just got that label. But on the and there's that video of him saying, "You know what? I could shoot myself in the fucking head for writing that song." And but
well, I think didn't the label make him write that song?
Yeah.
Because they were going to call it Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Yes. And what I've learned in interviewing, like I've interviewed probably 50 musicians, and that kind of shit happens all the time. The label says, you're doing this. And you're like, what are you going to do? Say no? And because what the label's going to say, well, then we're not putting out the fucking record. And when you've been struggling your entire life and you finally have what you want in front of you, most of the time you're going to say, okay.
Yeah.
You want, and when Cherry Pie came out, you can find all sorts of video of Janie Lane saying how much she loves that song. It wasn't until grunge came in and I'm not, I get why he hated being labeled that, but it's not like, I think when he wrote it, he probably thought, hey, this is a fun rock song.
Yeah.
It's just for fun.
And those times were fun back
And
then.
those times were fun.
Yeah.
So
Do you get a lot of shit about having a warrant tattoo or 2 warrant tattoos?
nah.
So while we're showing tattoos, I'll show you. I got the Motley Crue.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Badass.
And I used to get a lot of shit for that one, but I'll tell you, Nikki Sixx told me it was cool, so that's all that mattered.
Right.
And hey, I'll tell you, that's the only time I've ever been starstruck was meeting Nikki Sixx.
I'm sure.
I mean, I've met everybody
Yeah.
from that era, and he's the only one that I was just kind of. I just didn't know what to say. I had no words. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, sure. I probably the biggest star that I've interviewed was Ricky Rocket.
Mhm.
And, I've gotten to where I don't get nervous now. But I'll admit the first the first person I ever interviewed was Mike from Steelheart. And when I saw his name pop up on the screen on Zoom,
Now
I was
that's
like, all right, fuck.
that's the singer, right?
Yeah, the singer
Okay.
from Steelheart. So I was like, fuck, here we go. I was kind of fucking nervous. No, now I don't. But, if you would have told me when I was 18, hey, when you're 50, you're going to be like texting with the guys from Trickster and you and Stevie Rochelle are going to shoot the shit on Facebook and and Ricky Rocket's going to add you on. I would have been like, no fucking way. So anyway, I don't want to lose that because I'm a music fan first and foremost. So, it's just, it's amazing some of the shit that happens now.
I'll tell you, if you would have told me 6 months ago that I would have my own podcast, I'd have been like, you're crazy.
Right.
And, it's even though it was something that, I kind of wanted to do because I just enjoy talking to people, and the podcast format is not like it's an interview in a sense, but it's a little bit more laid back and it's a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a little bit longer drawn out, which I like,
Right.
and, I still get nervous, I mean, like I said, I'm about 10 episodes in and we got bonus content. Well, actually it's more than that. If you count all the phone booth episodes, it's a lot more than that. But, even on those, I still get nervous and I talk to those guys twice a week. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I guess it's just the being on camera, especially when we do it live, it's a different animal,
Yeah. Yeah. My stuff is, I haven't ventured into live mainly because I don't even fucking know how to do it. So, mine's all recorded, but, I don't edit shit out or anything. I mean, all a lot of my interviews are going into like 2 hours and shit. So, I mean, which is awesome because I feel like that's when you start getting into the deeper stuff, the nitty gritty versus when I interviewed Mike from Steelheart, they're like, you got 20 minutes with him.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, fucking 20 minutes. What am I going to do in 20 minutes?
And
So
why is his schedule so strict all of a sudden? I mean,
think
it's not
he
like his career is like, huge right now.
I think he had been in a movie. So I think he was, had a lot of but I was like fucking 20. So anyway, my preference is the guys who say, hey, whatever you need, so I did 3.5 hours with Jeff Scott Soto. I was on with for 4 hours with Chris McClernand from Saigon Kick. So, and anyway,
That's a long time, like when we do our Saturday lives, they're 4-5 hours sometimes. And it's just like, man, that's rough.
The one time I was with Greg Giuffria from House of Lords and Giuffria, and he was on for 4 hours and 15. He hadn't given an interview that was on YouTube since 1985. So it was like all this, he was going into all this detail about his businesses and shit that he did after music. And I'm only telling you this because I had to piss so bad, but I was like, I'm not going to tell him because he's on a roll. I want him to keep talking. So I just sat there fucking going, shit, I got to piss anyway.
All right. What's you got any crazy concert stories, good times at concerts or?
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, do you want the dirty ones? Or no,
But what's funny? What's funny is I get asked all the time because people see, my pictures with various people and they're like, oh, there's always asking me, well, who's the coolest? Well, I'm talking to the drummer from Flock of Seagulls next week. And I'll tell you, that is one where it was probably the most fun. It was like the hotel room party with a bunch of people in a hotel room. And I mean, just like, yeah, I've partied on tour buses with bands and stuff, and it's just, I mean, it's really not that glamorous,
Uh,
It's not what you would think it is.
well, mine I felt like was pretty glamorous. So I'll just tell I maybe kind of hinted at this. I go see Warrant probably I think it's 95, 96.
Okay.
And they're like obviously their kind of music is not the in stuff. So it's probably a club with about 500. It was a packed club, probably 500 people, and I'm right up front. And so I get pulled, Janie Lane's right, and all my buddies are like, dude, look at his tattoos. And he sees them, he pulls me up on stage, and he's like, that means so much, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, go over to the side of the stage. We're going to get you fucked up. So I go to the side of the stage, and Eric Turner's like feeding me tequila. I end up so fucked up by the end of the night. Anyway, what is cool is like 3 or 4 years later, I'm at a party with a bunch of my buddies. Probably some of them had been at that show with me. We were all big hair metal fans. And one of the guys goes, hey, you'll never guess what I just got in the mail. I found, and this is, the internet probably existed, but it was at the beginning.
Sure.
He's like, I found this guy who sells bootleg concert videotapes. And I got a video of a Warrant show in the mid 90s. And it's at the Iron Horse, and we used to go. So we're like, fucking A. So we watch it, and we saw a lot of concerts, but it just so happened to be the one where I got pulled up on stage. And we were all like, holy fuck. We got like the holy grail of Warrant concerts. I'm up on stage. It's actually now on YouTube now. So anyway, I got so drunk that night because everybody was like treating me like a rock star. They're like fucking A, like it was a big deal to us. So anyway, that's one of my stories.
That's cool. That's cool,
Yeah.
man. I'm so spoiled now. Like I have a hard time going to shows because I just can't deal with the crowds.
Oh yeah.
So it's like if I don't have a all access pass or something else, I'm like, I don't really want to go, and that's it's a shame, but it's just and I think for me, where that stems from is I was at a Motley Crue concert in Vegas. It was the last concert at the Aladdin Hotel, the old Aladdin before they blew it up. And Tommy Lee gets on the mic and he's like, what did they tell you? You had to sit in your seats? And invites everybody to the stage. Well, me and my buddy, we were the first ones down there at the stage. And then we turn around to this theater of about 5,000 people all coming right at us.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a riot. People jumped up on stage and they're ripping the chairs out of the ground. And then they had stopped the show for I don't know how long. And then they ended up finishing it. Well, after the concert ends, it turned into a full on riot. Because it's the last concert. People are, ripping the theater seats out of the ground, ripping phone. This is when we had phone booths, like the payphones, ripping payphones out of the wall, ripping toilets out of the ground. So my buddy lifts me up and I rip down this sign, sections 2 through whatever. And so we're going on our way out and we walk right out the door of the Aladdin and there's the newspaper right there, takes our photo, puts us on the front page of the paper.
No shit.
And so it was a plastic sign. And when I ripped it out of the ceiling, it cut my hands up. So there's blood all over it. It looks pretty cool. I had it for years. I don't know if I still have it, but I had the sign for a long time. It might be in one of my storage units, but it looks cool with the blood all over it.
That's badass. That's badass.
Yeah. And then, just tons of shows. I used to, when I was about probably 19 years old, I was friends with everybody at the local radio station, Comp 92.3 in Vegas. And so they would get me into the club there. And, I didn't have an ID or anything, and so I was under 21 and got to see everybody and hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Got to see Kevin DuBrow all the time. He was there every week hanging out.
Sure.
Became buddies with him. In fact, just a few years ago, I'll have to send you the video. We did a shrunken head ceremony for Kevin DuBrow, and I had Alex Grossi come out and introduce him, and Lark, his ex-girlfriend, and it was really cool, man. It turned into
this is when Kevin was alive.
No, this was after he passed. And it was really sweet because his mom came out and did it, and this was 2020.
Okay.
22 or 23. I'm trying to remember.
I just had Alex on a few
I
weeks.
saw that. I'm hoping he'll come on. I don't know. I talked to him to set up the stuff, and
Yeah.
everything was cool. And then at the event, I don't know, he kind of shunned me a little bit. So I don't know what that was about, but
Sure.
I'll send him a text and see if he'll come on one day.
Sure.
But I'm scared to ask some of these people because I'm just starting out.
Sure.
Like Bloss, from Slaughter's another
Yeah.
one I want to get on.
Yeah.
But it's weird because all throughout the years I meet all these people and they all give me their phone numbers and tell them to call them, and I never do.
Yeah.
So then I feel like a jackass 10 years later. Hey,
Yeah.
remember me?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Like, Bloss gives me his number. And I've never called him.
Yeah.
But
It's like, I reach out to a lot of people with interview requests, but like people give me their number. I'm not going to be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm only going to reach out if I have something to ask them or to talk about, because I'm sure they fucking, these guys on social media, can you imagine how many DMs they get a fucking
Sure.
day? And I'm not, but I'm starting to get to where, fuck, I can't keep up. Like I used to say, I will always respond to every comment on my videos and all of that shit. Well, I put out content almost every day. I put out about 27 videos a month. There's usually 3 or 4 days where I don't.
Wow.
And it's just like I can't. I would spend all day responding to comments or now my DMs. And again, I'm not trying to come off like oh, I get so, but it's just it's a lot. I can't imagine the amount of messages a rock star gets on like Facebook and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool, man, to see your page grow. It's exciting. And like I said in the beginning, it gives me inspiration for this podcast,
And you, you seemed already like you obviously sound really good, like I've had people reach out to me and they're like, hey man, I want to start a channel. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Make sure, and I always tell people, make sure you don't, you're not starting it because you have this goal of being popular and making money. Because if that's your goal, then you might be led to disappointment. I always tell people that if you wouldn't do this for free because you just enjoy it, then don't do it. Because I've had people,
there's no money in the beginning. None.
I won't say any names, but a guy that is a buddy of mine now. He's like, yeah, you hear about these people who start a podcast, and then in a couple of years they're able to quit their job and shit. And I'm like, that might happen very rarely, But so I think they got kind of disappointed after they did it for a year, and we're like, fuck, man, it's not like blow. Anyway, do it because you really just enjoy doing it.
Yeah, there's definitely no money being made. But I'll tell you what is nice is I do get free bidets. I don't know. You can't see it because it's a bidet. I don't know. You can't see it because of the virtual background.
I kind of see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now this bidet company hit me up when I first started my Twitter page, even before the podcast.
Yeah.
They hit me up and they're like, can we send you a bidet? And you can either give it away to one of your followers or keep it yourself. So I was like, cool.
Badass.
Yeah. So I kept it for myself because I'm selfish. and then when I hit 5,000 followers, I was like, hey, can I give one away? And they're like, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Give one away. So I gave one away. And then now at 10,000, I'm giving away a portable.
Badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
And then they just sent me like a whole care package full of stuff. And,
cool.
I'm giving away bidets on the podcast. I'm doing an episode here in a few weeks, and I'm going to have these two guys. It's a sports themed show. Yeah. And I'm going to put them in a trivia battle, and the winner gets a bidet.
Sure.
So it's kind of fun, we get t-shirts made, like we got the Poo-Tang Clan,
yeah.
So it's cool,
I haven't had that happen yet. I mentioned like the guy who runs Rock 101 KLOL out of Houston was watching my videos, and he messages me and he's like, "Hey, you want to host a radio show on Saturday nights, Hair Metal Mansion?" I'm like, "Fucking A." So I'm not getting paid to do it, but I enjoy doing it, and then that gets my name out there more.
Sure.
And then the guy who owns F&A Records, which is like a small label, they'll release like, you know, a band that maybe recorded an album in 1992 that didn't come out. You know, they put this kind of stuff out. They put out stuff from Wild Side and Black and Blue and all that. Anyway, he's like, "Hey, would you like to work with us?" So I get a bunch of free CDs. I get access to their artists. So it's, I make a little bit of money on YouTube, but again, it's not about the money. Do I hope I make a shit ton of money? Of course. But
Who doesn't?
I never got into this thinking that I'll make money doing it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap
Hey,
this
if
up.
somebody wants to send me a free bidet, go ahead.
Well, we'll wrap this up here in just a couple minutes, but I want to ask you, like, what do you think the future holds? For music of this genre. We said AI is kind of taken over, but is there life for these bands outside of touring?
Outside of touring, I don't think so. I mean, I think merchandising and touring is about, most of them will tell you, "Hey, I'm a shirt salesman." So I think, and I hope that these guys will continue to write new music, but I get why they don't. It's not like it's gonna sell. So the future for the legacy acts, hey, it's all about touring. And like I said earlier, I hope that there is a young crew whose parents taught them about this music, and we will see some younger bands. It's scary because where are they going to play? But then again, the way younger bands get started can in a way be easier because you don't need to do it by going out and playing shows. You build a big social media presence, you got YouTube, so you do have a way to build a name that is different than the way it was. So I'm hopeful that there will be this younger crew that will come out, and like I said, Notorious, there's the Cruel Intentions, there's other bands that are kind of starting it. But are we going to get to the glory days of again? No, unfortunately.
Can Sebastian and Skid Row work things out?
No.
I watched your video a couple weeks ago. You did, and then I saw you posted Sally Steele's video. You did another video.
Yep.
Just was it last week?
Yep.
And I briefly worked for Sally Steele.
Okay. Wow.
I worked for her long enough to get my name printed in her Vegas Rocks magazine.
There you go.
That was about it.
Well, if you saw, so Sebastian, this girl asks him for a hug. He says no. She gets and is a dick about it. Apparently, I talked to the girl. She was pissed off. So when the concert started, she flips him off, which maybe she shouldn't have done, but whatever. He rages, calls her a ugly bitch, kicks her out. So it's all over the news. So that was the moment where I said, you know what? It will not happen with Skid Row and Sebastian Bach. I did, like you said, I did a video a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, because Skid Row's been really silent. They aren't doing any shows. You would think you would hear an update. And I was like, well, maybe they're in talks with him because it's been so quiet. But after that deal, I'm sure if you're Skid Row, you're going, you know what? This guy's a loose cannon. He's going to do something, go off on somebody and embarrass us. And we just don't want that fucking hassle. Yeah. So now I say, no, there is no chance of a reunion.
I have to agree with you. This last little incident with kicking her out, it's just like, come on, man. You're how old is he? 50 something now?
57, I think.
57. It's like, come on, man. You're acting like a child.
and at that age, at that step, at that place in the game, you just fucking stand up and give the girl a 2-second hug. And I said this in the video because you know what? That 2-second hug, did my dog just puke? Charlie, I hope you didn't puke. That 2-second hug is going to create a fan for the rest of your career. She is going to buy everything you put out. She's going to go to every show you put out. You stand up and you give the 2-second fucking hug, Sebastian. And instead, he just shits on his reputation one more time with kicking her out of the show. It looks fucking ridiculous. I mean, grow up.
Would you rather see a fully reunited Skid Row or a fully reunited Guns N' Roses?
Ugh.
Tough.
Ugh.
We almost had it. Steven
Yeah.
Adler played a couple shows, and he's a sweetheart of a guy, man. I
Yeah.
used to have some good times with him in
Yes.
Vegas. My friend Ryan was his manager for a while.
Yeah.
But Izzy won't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's he I think he has just found his comfort place in life. He doesn't need the adulation. Apparently he doesn't need the money, you know. So it before all this bullshit, I probably would have said Skid Row. I'm a massive Guns N' Roses fan, but the first Skid Row album came out like when I was like 16. I've always said like Skid Row when I was 16 is probably the band I identified with most. So yeah, I don't why the fuck can't you get Adler back in the band? I'm sure he'd accept if it's money, I'm sure he'd accept less money, you know, to be a part of it. So
Yeah, have him come out and just play the Appetite stuff.
yes. Yes. Exactly. Pay somebody else to do the rest of it if that's what you feel you need to do. Give the fans a thrill. You've already got Slash and Duff back in. And I've seen Adler's band a couple times, and you know what? They sounded fucking great.
Get this. I was at their first 2 shows when they were known as Suki Jones.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, I remember we went to dinner after one of the shows. We went to Benihana's, and Brent Musket, you know, was in the band at that time.
Yeah.
And he spoke fluent Japanese to our server at Benihana's. I was impressed.
shit.
I was like,
Wow.
damn, dude.
That's epic.
But
That's
hey,
awesome.
Anthony, Hair Metal Guru, I thank you so much for coming today and giving me some of your time and talking to me. It's like I said in the beginning, man, I just really appreciate your passion for the music, man. And it's cool to see.
Thank
But,
you. Thank you. I appreciate the invite. It's been a blast. Let's do it again sometime. Maybe we can get you to come on mine at some point.
I'd love to talk some metal with you. And, you know, maybe we'll do some bonus content sometime on here
Sure.
too.
Sounds good.
But don't hang up just yet. I'll talk to you after. But
Okay.
thanks again, man.
All right. You bet.